Right, good morning everybody. It's been a while and welcome back to the TR7 V8. Now, the last thing, what did I have? I was en route to London, and I thought I'd take this car up because I'd been using it daily to go down to the storage, and I was on the M5 and all of a sudden the car just died. And when I say died, it actually just retarded like you wouldn't believe. It's just if you took your foot off, and the ignition light came on, so the engine had stopped, and pulled in on the hard shoulder, hazards on, etc. And to cut a long story short, the fuel pump had died. And I sort of went underneath and had a look, and this is the fuel pump. It's on. It's a diaphragm pump, and it was warm, so it was on, but it wasn't pumping. And I bypassed the filter in the engine bay. See if you can see that. It's under there somewhere. Just get that torch there. That's it there, inside there. You can see it there. Yeah, so I bypassed that just in case that was jammers or something. But what actually happened? A traffic officer came along, very nice chap indeed. And this would have been in November. I did 2 trips to the States, November and December, and I was off to Arizona. But I'd, like I say, broken down on the M5, and typical as me, I always leave a little bit earlier than expected, just in case there's any traffic issues, you know, to get to the parking for Terminal 5. And yeah, I'd broken down. And because I just got before the roadworks at Taunton Dean, the traffic officer said to me that because I was there in a precarious position, I was within the scope of being recovered for free. So, but the terms of the recovery for free means you just get plonked to a safe site and left. So I'd been driven into Taunton Dean services on the North route. Phoned my work colleague, and he came and picked me up, and very popular I was too. And we drove then. We had just transferred everything, made the car safe, and we went up to continue to London. We made the flight easily, and then I had the car recovered from one of our contacts for the storage and everything. So, and the car was put down to storage whilst I was away for 3 weeks. And then I was back home for a week, and then I was due to fly out again to Portland. So I had a week to get this sorted. Now, I bought off Rimmer Brothers in AU 1649 or something, and on the description it said that it was a SD1 non-EFI low pressure pump. So I thought, okay, let's get the right one, and I put it in, and it all worked. And what I found was on the carburetor, because the filter was off, it was spraying up fuel like you wouldn't believe. So I quickly switched off, and I thought, well, this is crazy. This is just not right. So I ended up buying another one of these and putting it in, and so that's what I did, and it's fine. It's only about 2 psi, 2 to 4 psi. This black one. It's a diaphragm pump, and I did check with the supplier that it is ethanol fuel friendly with the rubbers, etc. So I haven't done anything with this, but I have a spare fuel pump here. If anybody is interested, I only want a couple of pounds for it. It costs a sort of arm and a leg in terms of fuel pumps, but there you go. I tried to get the right one, and it's too powerful for this car. So you live and learn. And I had to change the oil and the filter because I think some of the fuel had gone into the oil, and yeah, so I didn't want to run the car change the oil and the filter. So that's that. So what else is with the car now? Now the fuel light has come back on. Now I'm not sure if you watched one of my previous videos where I'd said that I've just turned the ignition on. Let's turn that fan off. Bleats out cold air there. Oh. Let's get the fan off. So, you should see that fuel light come back on. There we are.
I don't know, I can just
bang, she's on. Now, what did I say before in one of the previous videos, that when the sensor drops, there's a low resistance line which connects the supply output voltage to the delay unit, which will invoke the lamp on the dash. So when the fuel gauge is low and that light comes on, you know you need fuel. Now, the fuel was quite low when I got home, and now why did it come back on? Yes, whilst I was doing the fuel pump, I noticed that one of the connections, the green and orange, was off, so I put it back on again and the fuel light came on. I thought the fuel lamp had gone out because I'd filled up with fresh fuel and the fault had cleared, but it clearly hadn't, because one of the spade terminals had come off anyway. So I connected it back up and the fuel lamp's coming back on again, so it wasn't cured. So I was going to actually raise the back of the car, drain the tank, and see what I could do with it, but I think there's a low resistance on that unit which is on the sender in the tank, so it needs a new sender. Now what I was going to try and do is, lift up the sender, but I think that's a bit futile, because I actually put 30 litres of fuel in the car and just to see if she would go out again, and she didn't, and I drove all the way to Cornwall up and down and the fuel light's still coming on. So the fuel gauge is working fine. It is what it is there now, and am I really that bothered to get that done at the moment? No, I'm not. The fuel light is coming on, so even with a 3/4 full tank, so it's definitely, it can only be the sender. There's no other wiring fault. Like I said, I changed over the delay units between the 7 and this car, and all the wiring matches the same, and the only way that light can come on is if the signal is grounded through that sender unit, because there's 3 connections on the fuel. You've got ground, the gauge, and then the black and green for the gauge and the green and orange for the delay unit. So the resistance between the ground and the green and orange is coming through to ground out that light on the dash, and obviously the resistance between the ground and the green and black is representative of the level of the tank. So it needs a new sender, and that's where I am. So apart from that, needs a damn good clean, because it was sat out in the wind and the rain, and it was quite mouldy by the time I got back, because it wasn't in the storage unit, because we're pretty much at capacity now. So it was left outside, and of course, yeah, it was looking in a sorry state, but there we are. So that's the update I've got for the V8 at the moment today, and I'm going to take it out again today, give her a bit of a clean, and see how we go. And as far as the fan goes, I'm going to bite the bullet on this, and I'm going to be removing the dash. I'm going to take the dash off and get access to that heater unit to see if the resistors are blown or not, and just to get the 3 speeds of the fans working. So I'm going to be doing that at some point, and I will do a video on it as well, just to, and also I think the other thing was this vibration issue I had when I'm lifting off at speed, and when you put the power back on again, it's coming back. So I need to investigate further that, just to see what's potentially happening with that. It's a bit unnerving, really. It's not a massive vibration, but one that I can notice from the seat of my pants. So it's just something that I'd better look sooner than later, but I've been so busy with everything else. That yeah, now I've got a few weeks off before I depart again. And the weather's really cold. It's really cold. So I just organised myself. I've got some new shelving now. I've put all my bits and pieces on. I haven't finished it yet either. No, there's 2 tyres there. 2 for 5 by 30 by 20s. That's the front. I've got 2 new front tyres for the Jag, which I'll go on before the MOT this year, because they are getting a bit low. And so yeah, I bought those quite a few months ago now, on the premise that I'd be doing it, so before the MOT. But apart from that, I shall leave it there. And Happy New Year to everybody, and look forward to more of the same in the future. Bye now.